Pullin out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box. I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box.
What's up everyone, this is Blue Nova. I'm here to bring you guys a new tutorial on how to get vocal quality like Roddy Ricch in his new song, The Box. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you've been subscribed, stay subscribed because new tutorials are coming very soon. If you want to go ahead and get the entire session, well, pretty much like the vocals that I have right here and the vocal preset, you can get that on bluenovabeats.com. Just go to the store, click on the vocal presets tab, and you can get the entire thing there. But we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is land on a master and turn off all these effects. And we're going to right click and work with the lead vocal. So right here with the lead vocal, initially I had Autotune set on this one and routed it to another insert. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I just went ahead and had all the effects routed right here. So that's all we're going to do. With these effects, the first thing we're gonna have is Autotune. If you don't have my version of Antares Autotune, then you can use any version, but you just need to make sure you set your scale to minor and your key to B flat. And for the retune speed, I kept it at around 20. You can keep it a little bit less or more depending on your voice and just if you hit these notes a little bit better. So I left it at that. So this was gonna sound like with Autotune.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT. Busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal, I'ma get lazy.
So yeah, the Autotune is just gonna help correct some of those notes, especially like the parts where I said lazy. Notes like that can really be corrected with Autotune. Aside from that, we're gonna move into the next thing. The next thing is actually going to be picture. If you don't have Antares Autotune, that's why I included picture in the folder, so you guys can have that. What you want to have it as in the settings is A sharp, and then set on minor, and then just bring down the retune speed so it's a little bit around medium, and it'll just get you the same exact thing. After that, we're gonna move into the compressor. So the compressor I use is RVox Stereo by Waves, and what we're gonna do right here is basically just compress the vocals so everything is consistent. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a.
Actually, yeah, all right. So
pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box.
So what I'm doing right here is I'm bringing down the threshold to where it's meeting the blue meter. So we're basically just compressing it and making everything consistent. For the gain, I actually brought down my gain to -12 so that there's a little bit more headroom, because if you don't, then your ceilings will be pushing at 0 decibels, and we don't really want to do that. We want to give it a little bit of room. So after we have that, we're going to move into the next thing, which is the Parametric EQ2. Now with the EQ2, all we're gonna do is just go in and find those bad frequencies. These are what I found are the frequencies that need to be cut out. Some right here in around the 200 region, a little bit here in the 286, 434, 595, and a little bit right here in the 927, but not too much because your vocals are really supposed to push through in around the 1K region. For the high frequency, I boosted that up to around 9 decibels, and I boosted that in the 8,000 region. That's what's going to give you that vocal clarity. So aside from that, I'm going to play the vocal with the Parametric EQ2.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal, I'ma get lazy.
Now after that, we're going to move into a Soundgood Iser. Now what the Soundgood Iser is going to do is basically just going to fill up the vocal a little bit more, just to make it stand out in the mix. So I brought in the Soundgood Iser and selected B and just boosted the knob up until it got me that fuller sound. So this is what it sounds like.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box.
After that, we're going to move into the next thing, which is going to be a fruity limiter. For the fruity limiter, you just want to load it and bring your threshold down all the way to 0, and just bring your ceiling down to where it's hitting around -3. I always start my vocals around -3, just because that's my personal preference. So just bring the ceiling down and just push the gain up to where it's really making your vocal sound consistent and level in sound. So that's what I went ahead and did.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, tell them 12 SWAT, busting out the bales of the box, I just hit a lick with the box, had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal, I'ma get lazy.
So you can see that the vocals are really being pushed against the ceiling and really just sounding full and consistent. The next thing we're going to move into is a Deesser stereo. Now with the Deesser stereo, we're basically going to just take away the sibilants from your vocals. So any of those harsh S's and T's, that's what it's going to do. For your frequency, set it at 5,506, set the sidechain, select it on high pass, and just bring your threshold down to where it's taking care of it.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Tell them 12 SWAT. Bustin out the bales at the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy.
Now after that, we're gonna move into using a fruity filter. Now with what I noticed with Roddy Ricch's vocals, his vocals, although you can hear it in the mix, they sound a little bit it sounded like the dynamics or the high presence was a little bit killed. So I used a fruity filter in order to replicate that same sound. So as far as the settings, this is what I went ahead and did. I know these values aren't really precise numbers, but as far as the general settings, this is what you want to have. So I'm going to play the vocals with the fruity filter.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Tell them 12 SWAT. Busting out the bales at the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put a stick in the box.
Then turn it off.
Pour up the whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy.
Put it back
I
on.
got the mojo deals. We've been trapping like the 80s.
So it kind of helps to clean up the vocal a little bit more if it has too much high presence. So this is what I found equivalent to his vocals playing the song back and forth. So after that, the very last thing is just going to be a fruity reverb 2. Now what we're going to do is just fill up the vocal a little bit, but not too much. For the wet level, you want to bring that down to around 26, 27. The decay time, you want to have that around 1.8, pretty much just 2 seconds. For the low cut, have it around 1085. And for the high cut, you just want to turn that down. You don't want to have it too much. So around 0.5 is fine. Size room, turn that all the way up. And then the bass, you can turn it all the way up. For the damp level, you just want to have it around this parameter. So I'm going to play the vocals with the reverb.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Tell them 12 SWAT. Busting out the bales at the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals. We've been trapping like the 80s.
So yeah, that's essentially all we're going to do for the lead vocal. For the ad-libs are pretty much really just the same quality as the lead vocal. There's not anything too different in Roddy Ricch's vocals in the song. The only thing I do recommend is to roll off the high end presence. So just getting this band and just dropping it all the way down. So that way it doesn't clash too much with your lead vocal. And we're going to just move over to that area where the ad-libs are playing. And this is what you're going to hear.
So, got the cash app. Told him wipe it. Good nose. Say slatt.
So yeah, that's all we're gonna do for the lead and ad-libs, and that's really all there is to the song. For the master, we're gonna go ahead and just turn on the instrumental. And going back to the master, we're gonna add a fruity convolver, and it's just gonna cut the entire mix at 15K because I know this song is also cut at 15K, just like a lot of songs nowadays. What I went ahead and did is added a fruity multi-band compressor. Now this is just for preference and just to make sure I'm getting that same sound quality as the original song. So I just went ahead and adjusted the fruity multi-band compressor. What I went ahead and did is just make sure to select FIR, and for the threshold, just bring that down to -3. That's gonna compress the low band frequency just by 3 decibels. The mid, I left that alone. I didn't want to compress that. For the high band frequency, I just dropped that down to around -21.4 decibels. So once we have that, the very last thing is just gonna be a fruity soft clipper, and you just want to load that up and leave it as is. And this is how the entire mix will sound like.
Got the cash app. Told him wipe it. Good nose. Say slatt. I won't never sell my soul. And I can back that. And I really wanna know when you went with. I was out back with a stash at. Cruise the city in a bulletproof Cadillac.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I did in order to replicate Roddy Ricch's vocal quality. If you like this tutorial, go ahead and thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Put in the comment section what you guys want to see next. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, go to bluenovabeats.com. Go to the contact form on the very bottom of the page and send me a message there. If you need any beats, just go back up. The store is right there. The vocal preset is there with my raw vocals inside, so you guys have something to play with. And that's pretty much it. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.
With the box, had to put a stick in the box. Pour up the whole whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals, we been trappin' like the 80s. She sucked it, good soul.